Welcome. I'd like to welcome you to our Employee Engagement Action Planning meeting, and we have an amazing opportunity in front of us today. We have the opportunity to impact our paychecks, and we have the opportunity to impact our bonus checks. Just as we've seen with the development work with the work that we did over the last 2 years since our last survey on development, the productivity increases have resulted in increased profitability for our organization. And we're excited about that. We've each gotten greater bonuses, and we've been able to pass those along to our staff, so that's been exciting. You each were chosen by Mary Beth Oliver, our CEO, because of the work that your department and your division are doing in the area that we discussed last week when we reviewed the survey relative to accountability. And so today, what we will walk away with when we leave today is we will have an action plan that we've all committed to that will help our organization improve accountability, which will then get us to that point of, again, increasing profitability and passing that along to our staff. Those paychecks, improvements in our paychecks, and improvements in our bonus. To get us started, before I detail through the agenda, I'd like to kind of get our brains around and get some alignment around what are those key issues that we need to be thinking about relative to accountability. And so what I'd like to do is give you 90 seconds at your table and write down on a Post-it, the person with the shortest hair will be the documenter, and write it big enough so that if I put it up on the board here, we can all read it. So one idea, one issue per Post-it, written with a marker where all of us can read it. He does have short hair. He has short hair, yes. And so one idea, one key issue. What are the key issues that we need to address today as it relates to accountability? You have 90 seconds. I'm going to give you a marker so that we'll be able to read it when we put up on the... Thanks. As many as you brainstorm, as many issues as you think we need to cover. One per sticky, but as many ideas as you can as a group.
People have responsibility but no authority.
30 seconds. Let me give you the cover to that. Ten seconds. And markers down. All right, great work. Why don't we start here with the green table? What were some of the issues? Just if you'll say them and then pass them to me, and I'm going to put them on our key issues. No, I'm sorry. On our key issues flip chart.
They're somewhere.
It was there somewhere. It was hiding.
20 people, others. Okay. We had 3 of them. We had responsibility without authority.
Responsibility without authority. Can you give me an example of what that means?
Well, I know in some of the departments we have people who are acting as leads, and so they're supposed to be holding people accountable, but they couldn't do anything if they needed. I mean, they can't discipline, they can't hire, they can't fire. All they're supposed to be doing is get the job done, but they're not going to give you any authority to do it.
Okay. Does that ring true for others? Okay.
We've got, I can't remember what that one is, a history of not addressing issues. So we've got people in the organization who have been not performing for years and years and years, and all of a sudden hold them accountable. They'll, they'll be like, what the hell, what's going on now?
History of not addressing issues, and that's performance related?
Yes.
Performance. So I'm going to add that. Is that okay if I add that to this for clarity? Okay, now let's move on to the red team. Red team, what were some of the issues that you had?
Public communication of ownership, so everyone's clear of who owns what.
Public communication, who might that be to when you say public communication of ownership?
The entire team. So everyone knows, okay, Sue is responsible for that.
Okay.
Supposed to only Sue know.
So to the team?
To the team.
Okay. All right, the next one that you had?
Also, everyone owns their issue.
Everyone owns their issue. Help me understand that one a little bit more. Not sure I follow you.
So sense of ownership, so that everyone, it's not just it's almost like if no one owns it, then it doesn't happen. No one takes any action.
So is this, let me play this back for you. When you say everyone owns their issue, is it we're trying to get to a single point of ownership of the issue?
Right, a single owner for each item.
Okay. Single owner for each item. And did you have more?
Yes, clear definition of roles and clear and mutually shared definition of roles.
Excellent, great, thank you. Does that ring true for others as well? Things that you've heard? Okay, great. And now that we've gotten the issues from the entire team, and we've posted them, and we've categorized those, what I'd like to do is to review the agenda, and let's make sure that those categorizations that we came up with, which were personal, peer-to-peer, peer. You can spell check for me if you like. Department to department, and leadership. As we categorized those were the 4 areas that we categorized those to. Okay, so today, pardon? Excellent, thank you. So today what we're going to do, we're in the getting started, we're going to talk about how we had success already and what we have done to just get those juices flowing. What did we do in development, in the area of development, that got us the results that we've seen so far in improving productivity and profitability? Then what I'd like to do is take us through and talk about what successes are we already having as it relates to accountability. Let's really look at what's working already. Then we'll talk about it. Then we'll go into an exercise of expanding and improving upon those successes, prioritize those, and create an action plan that we can then commit to that will improve our accountability, improving profitability, and our paychecks. And then we'll get into, reviewing and closing. So can we all agree that this agenda will meet those objectives? Is there anyone who does not agree? Can I see a hand? Great, thanks. All right, so, we're back from break, and we've gone through the successes on development, and we listed all of those successes that we had with development and what really increased our productivity as it related to development. And the second thing that we did as a group was to identify, what are some of those current successes as it related to accountability. So we've gotten through letter B on our agenda. We've gotten through letter C. We're really going to dig into now D. And expanding on, improving on what we've already said we're successful at, what we want to be able to do is, what can we do? What more can we do than what we have already said we're doing to improve accountability within our organizations? And how can we expand? So going back to our ground rules, remember, we are looking up and we're looking forward. Okay? Our focus today is on what can we expand on what we're doing and how can we improve on it. Okay? We've all agreed that that's going to be our focus. All right, so the way I want to do this is we are going to have a brainstorming session. But I know sometimes when we first start into brainstorming, we kind of have that, what should we think about? So what I'd like you to do is at your tables spend 90 seconds thinking about what are some ways, and if you want to document with your Post-its, but we're going to actually use and document them on the flip chart. What are ways that we can expand and improve upon? So think about, you're in a meeting with Mary Beth Oliver. You're reviewing the product launch. You have one team that just doesn't seem to be hitting the mark, and you have one team that is just nailing it. They are getting things done. They're ahead of schedule. What are you telling Mary Beth about that team that's really working well? 90 seconds. What have you come up with? No, what I want is how can we expand upon and improve upon our current successes in accountability? What more can we do to improve accountability?
So build on what they're doing well.
Yes. What else? What can we do more of? What can we do better? All right, time is up. So we've got that pump primed. You're talking to Mary Beth Oliver. You've got one team that wasn't doing so hot, but you have this team that's really doing awesome. And you're sharing with Mary Beth, our CEO, what has made that group successful. How did they expand or improve upon what's already been done? What are you telling her in the, a year from now in that session? What are you telling her about what we're doing, what we need to do to improve, what we did to improve accountability, or what we can do to improve accountability?
One thing that team does is they meet every morning for a little huddle, and I noticed that they don't throw each other under the bus.
No throwing under the bus. So they meet in the morning for the huddle,
And they don't throw each other.
and no throwing under the bus. I hope you don't mind my abbreviations. If you don't understand them, please raise your hand. And when you say not throwing each other under the bus, just give me an example.
Someone, like I know Bob didn't turn in his report, he didn't have his report ready, and Sue had already written it for him by the time he got home.
Excellent. Thank you, Lachey. All right, our round robin. LaShanya.
I would agree. We kind of just came up with a few ideas at the table.
Okay, great. Thank you. Anybody else? What do we need to do to improve accountability?
The roles are clearly defined.
Roles were clearly defined. And the next one, I'm going to switch markers because that one's not doing so hot. Van. So everyone needs to make a pact, did you say?
Take personal responsibility.
And what would that look like?
That would look like, hey, if you come in late, and let me say, I was late, but give a reason why. Don't just say I'm late. Say why.
Okay, great. Thank you. Christine.
One of ours was one person is selected to monitor the overall activities of the group.
Excellent. So one person is monitoring the overall activities and keeping track. Oh, keeping track of progress. Excellent. Thank you. So now that we've identified all of our items that we can do, and we've prioritized them into the action plan, into, which ones are the top ones that we need to do, and we have created commitment. We're all in agreement that these are the actions that we are going to commit to over the next 2 years.